sight. We already have the discussion over the structure of eye. We discussed about the layering of the eye, okay. We discussed about the gland which is present in the eye, okay. And we also discussed about the lens and the structure of eye and their related, we can say, the pathologies, okay. So today we are going to discuss the, we can say, the how eye is working, okay. In simple layman language we can say how eye is working. We will see about this, okay. So today our lecture outline, see here, first we will discuss about the ocular muscles, okay. I already told you, the visual process is basically a series of events which take place during the visual perception, that is called as the visual process. Visual process. This is a series of events which take place while you are seeing the object, okay, perceiving the object. So this is called as the visual process. Now in the visual process you have to study mainly the three things. First one is called the mechanism of image formation, mechanism of image formation, okay. Then what happened if the light fall on the object? If light fall on the object, then what happened? If light it's fall on the eye, if the light is fall on the eye, then what happened? What changes occurs in the eye? You have some previous knowledge, okay. You know that when light fall into the retina of eyes, okay, then this light energy, the photon light energy, they are changed in the retina, as a we can say the electric potential or electric energy. The light energy is changed into the electric energy. This phenomenon is happening in the eye, and this phenomenon is called as the phototransduction. This is called as the phototransduction, a process by which the light energy is changed, okay, is changed into the electric potential, okay, electric distinct membrane potential. They are changed into the electric potential, or we can say in simple as the impulse, okay, impulse. So first, when the light fall on the retina, okay, two changes happen. The first one is, we can say, the chemical changes. First changes which happen is the photochemical reactions, and then chemical reaction, okay. Photochemical reaction and electrical reaction. See, like you are watching right now on me and the screen, okay, they are leaving one kind of radiation, okay, they are left in one kind of radiation that is fall into your retina, okay, that is fall into the retina. Now when they fall into the retina, then there are two kind of reaction is happening in the retina. The first is a photochemical reaction, because you know in the retina there is a, we can say, the proper arrangement of the photoreceptor cell, okay, or we can say the electromagnetic receptors, or we can say also the visual receptors. That's your rods and cones. There is arrangement. Now once the light they are fall into your eyes, okay, then refracted by the cornea, okay, then they come into the macula lutea region, okay, we can say the foveal region of the eye. And once they come into the foveal region of eye, then there will be a changes in these receptors. Okay, the cones and rods, there will be changes in these receptors, result into the changes of the light energy into the electric energy. So that's why I am written here the two things happen. The first one is the photochemical reaction, second one is the electrical reaction. Understood? So now first we define the mechanism of image formation, that then go into detail to describe the photochemical reaction and electrical reaction. Okay, so suppose there is one boy okay, so this is a one boy and there he is looking at one flower. Okay, he is looking at the flower, then the light rays, they come into this flower and they reflected to boy retina, eye basically. Okay, boy eye, then there will be a formation of inverted image. Okay, there will be a formation of inverted image in the retina, but boy are able to see the actual image. Okay, not an inverted image, they are able to see the upright image. Okay, how? Because of the involvement of the brain, because of the involvement of the brain. So there will be a formation of inverted image, and if the boy already have previous memory about this flower, then they are able to recognize, okay, this is a, we can say the rose or rose, yeah, it is a rose, yeah, it is a rose flower. Okay, so this is a rose flower. If boy have the well rod and cones, okay, then they are also able to identify the color. Okay, this is a green color of, is it green? Yeah, so this is a green color rose. Okay, so that's how the image is formed in our brain. Understanding? Shall I repeat once again? See, when we have to see the object, okay, then light fall onto the object and then it's directed to our eye and basically the retinal part. Okay, and then there will be a formation of inverted image. Okay, inverted image as well the sidewise image, they are formed, but we are able to pursue the exact image. Okay, the upright image, and there will be a identification. Okay, then the message is sent into the higher system, that's called the visual cortex. Okay, present in the occipital lobe. We will have detailed discussion after a few minutes, but for a while you just understand this message is sent. Okay, and there will be a formation, and if this flower is previously seen by this boy, it means they have the memory, they are able to recognize the name. Okay, this is a rose flower, and if the rods and cones are working properly, basically the cones, if they are working properly, then they are able to identify the color of this flower. This phenomenon is called the image formation. Write down, this phenomenon is called as the image formation. You have any doubt? No? And you are wise enough that you can understand if there will be any disruption, or we can say the degradation or degeneration of cones, then there will be a color blindness. The boy are able to see the object. Okay, boy are able to see the object, but they cannot find the color. Okay, they cannot find the color of the flower. Okay, and if there will be a mass destruction of cones and rod, then we are unable to see the flower. Okay, that's called the blindness. We will see it in the later, but just understand this is called the image formation phenomenon. This is called the image formation phenomenon. Understood? Any doubt? No? Let's move ahead. Now we are going to define the neural basis of visual process. That we said ki okay, when the light they fall into our retina, then there will be a two kind of reactions happen. The first one is called the photochemical reaction, and second reaction is called as the electrical reaction. Okay, electrical reactions. For defining the photochemical reaction, okay, we have to first understand the structure of rods and cones. Okay, the structure of the rods and cones. The rods and cones is your visual receptor. Okay, it is also called as electromagnetic receptor, or also called as the photoreceptor. Now we are discussing the neural basis of visual process. Okay, we are discussing the neural basis of visual process. Why I am saying neural basis of visual process? Because this photochemical reaction, okay, and electrical reactions, they are meant for the sending the command to the brain. Okay, generally brain sending the command, but here these photoreceptor cells, they will send the message via the optic nerve, that is the second cranial nerve. Okay, optic nerve, that is called the second cranial nerve. So first we will discuss the structure of rods and cones. Here is your rods and your cones. Rods, as a name, they have the discs. You draw the diagram, zoom the video and draw the diagram. Okay, these are the discs of rod. Okay, and they have one connection. Is it? Yeah. And you have the cones. Cones are cone shape or flag shape. Okay, they have the saccules. They also have the outer segment, and they have the body and terminal end. Okay, now they have the nucleus here. Okay, and plenty of mitochondria. Okay, they also have the mitochondria and the nucleus. Understood? No problem. Okay, so structure of rods and cones. Okay, these both they process the discs. Okay, the rod process the discs, whereas the cones process the saccule. These are both rods and cones. If you are seeing, then this part, okay, this part is the disc, and cones, this part, they are called sacules. Okay, if we talk about the shape, the rod is looking, it is formed by the rods, or we can say the discs. Okay, so this, their shape is a disc shape, whereas the cones, they are the flexed shape. Clear? No problem. Then this segment, we can say the aggregation of discs, they are called the inner segment, and it is a common in both. Okay, cones and rod both have the inner segment. Okay, then both have the connecting cilium, which connect the inner segment to the outer segment. Okay, so it's have, and it's also have, दोनों के पास एक जैसे चीज, and this is called the connecting cilia. Okay, now both possess the mitochondria in their body. Both have the body, first of all, write down. Okay, and both have the nucleus. Now you are thinking, if both have the same part, then how they are different? My friends, have patience, I will tell you how they are different. And both have the terminal end. Both have the terminal end. Are you following? Understanding? No problem. Now come to the rod. The number of rod which is present in our retina is how much? 12 millions. 12 millions rods. You are millenarian as far as this rod and cones are concerned. Okay, so 12 million. Understanding? This much rods is present in your eyes, and the cones 6 million. 6 million. So the person who are able to see in the dark, they are more richer than person who are able to see in the bright. Okay, and if they are fortunate enough, they are able to see both in the dark, or you can say the dim light, as well as in the bright light, they are able to see, then they are much more richer than this separate one. Okay, you are what is called millenarian. I was unable to pronounce it. Okay, so we're discussing the structure of rods and cone, and as I said, the rod is formed by the disc. Okay, the disc is present in the outer segment. Okay, in the outer segment, the disc is present in the case of rod, whereas in the case of cones, there is a presence of these saccule. Understanding? No problem. And this is their synaptic terminal end. Now, you heard about the photoreceptor pigment? Yeah, heard it? Photoreceptor pigment. Photoreceptor pigments. See, you have photoreceptor pigment in photoreceptors. Okay, and where they are present? They are present in the case of rod, they are present in the disc. Okay, and this pigment is called rhodopsin. This pigment is called rhodopsin. Okay, no problem. And in the case of cone, we can say the photopigment which is present is porphyropsin. Write down porphyropsin. Okay, this pigment is present in the cones, okay, and in the rod there is presence of the rhodopsin. Now see the beauty of our body. Rods are specialized to see in the dim light. Write down, they are specialized to see in the dim light, okay, whereas the cones, they are able to see in the bright light, okay, no problem, understanding? Now it means rod are very sensitive towards the light, isn't it? Whereas the cones, they only respond to the higher wavelength of the light, or we can say the high intensity of the light, understanding? Now the vision which is mediated by the rods, that's called the dark, okay, they are able to see in the dark, this is called as the escotopic vision. Write down, this is called, this type of vision is called the escotopic vision, okay, and the vision which is present in the case of, they are able to, they are specialized in a, they are specialized to seeing the bright light. This type of vision is called photopic vision, okay, photopic vision. Now the question is ki, okay, rods, they are responding in the dark light, okay, and they are sensitive towards the dark light. Then in the initial part of the lecture I defined the one word, that's called the visual acuity, okay, to seeing the fine details of the object, like the edges of the object, then shape of the object, okay. See, this is a one duster, okay, and you are, take it close, you are able to see their edges, okay, these are the edges. Then you are also able to see that these edges are rough, okay, these edges have roughness. These understanding of the fine details, seeing of the fine detail, this is called the visual acuity, this is called as the visual acuity. So do you think that the visual acuity is mediated by the rods or done by the rods, or is done by the cones? Yeah, rods or cones, whom? Yeah, in the case of the rods, they are failed to recognize the fine details of the object, okay. So visual acuity is not present in the rods, whereas there is a proper visual acuity is present in the cones. That's why, do you seen the owl, ullu, okay, they are basically, they have the rods, plenty of rods, but they don't have the cones. That's why in the bright light they are unable to see. But in the case of, you know, like in the dark environment, in the dim light, they're performing the escotopic vision, okay, but they are also unable to find the things clearly, they are blindly flying, okay. They are able to recognize some things, like they are flying, but the acuity, the visual acuity, they are absent in the owl, they are absent in all. But see, in us both the thing is present, the visual acuity present, we are able to see in the bright light also, and in the also in the dim light, okay, also in the dim light, understanding? Now this is a common observation that in the dark you are able to see the color, in the dark environment you are able to see the color, yes or no? No. And in the bright environment you are able to recognize the color, yes, very good. So color vision is not present in the rod. Write down, color vision is not present in the case of rod, whereas in the case of cones the color vision is present. Color vision is present, understanding? No problem, okay. So let's revise once again. We are discussing basically the visual process, okay, the process by which we can say the visual process is a kind of, we can say, the event of series by which we are able to perceive the object, we are able to perceive the shape of the object, okay, the color of the object. These all are called the visual process. Then we define first in the visual process the image formation, okay, image formation, how the light they come into our retina and there will be a formation of inverted image, but we are able to see their original image, that's upright image, okay, we see. Then we defined about the phototransduction, that there is a, when this light fall into the retina, there will be the two kind of reaction is happening. The first one is called the photochemical reaction and second one is called the electrical reaction. Then we went in detail to describe the neural basis of visual process, and we taken the first reaction, the photochemical reaction, and we are saying that photochemical reaction is done, okay, the photochemical reactions, they are done by the photoreceptor cells or electromagnetic cells, or we can say the visual receptor cells. So we seen that there are two types of photoreceptor cells is present in the human retina. The first one is called the rod and second one is the cone. Then we go into the structure and we seen that the rods, they are cylindrical, okay, as far as the shape of the rod is concerned, they are the cylindrical, they are cylindrical in shape, and the cones is basically a flag shape, it is a flag shape. The commonality between the rods and cone is that both have the inner segment, okay, but in the case of the rod there is a disc pile up, and in the case of the cones there is a saccule, understanding. Then both have one connected cilium which connect the outer segment and inner segment, okay, that's called the connected cilium. In the both the case they are present. Then they both have the body, okay, and this body possesses the nucleus and so many mitochondria, okay, so many mitochondria. Then they have the one terminal and both have the synaptic terminal, and basically write down it's a synaptic terminal which store one of the neurotransmitter, excitatory neurotransmitter, that is your glutamate, okay. Glutamate is present in these synaptic vesicles of the both the end of this photoreceptor cell. Then we define that the rods contain the rhodopsin pigment, okay, they contain the rhodopsin pigment, whereas the cones they contain the porphyrin pigment. Now rods are specialized to see the dim light, okay, but whereas the cones they are specialized to function in the, we can say, the bright light, understanding. Then we defined, then there is something called visual acuity by which we are able to observe the fine detail of the object, okay, which is absent in the case of the rod, but it is well present in the case of the cones, okay. Then about their number, there are a millenarier. If we are the millenarier as far as the rod and cones are concerned, there are 12 million rods is present in our retina, whereas there are 6 million cones is present in our retina, okay. Then we seen the rods, they are able to see in the dark environment, and that kind of vision is called scotopic vision, okay. And the cones, they are specialized to see the bright light, that's why they are called as the photopic vision. Then the color vision is absent in the case of rod, whereas the color vision is present in the case of the cones. Then we seen, okay, then we described about their shape, that this is a cylindrical in shape and this is the flag shaped, understanding. So what we learned till now, we learned the ocular muscles, about the ocular muscles, about the ocular movement, okay, and we are in the path of visual process, okay. Now I have one question, and the question is, how these rods, they are, I told that the rods are very sensitive towards the light, okay, they are sensitive towards the light. It means they are doing some kind of mechanism, okay, that's why they are sensitive, yeah. These rhodopsin, as you are seeing, this is a carotenoid, this is a this is a member of carotenoid family, okay. And if the light will fall on this rhodopsin, okay, by the passing the so many intermediate, they change into the vitamin A, okay, they change into the vitamin A. That's why we are saying no, that the for the eye health, for vision health, vitamin A is very very necessary, okay. And it is present in the carrot, it is present in the carrot. So you should eat carrot, because we are now in a modern era. We are in a modern era, and most of our time is spent on the screen, okay, on the phone screen, desktop screen, not other screens, okay. So the rhodopsin, once they take the light, okay, they change into the vitamin A, okay. And when the light is fall on the rhodopsin undergo one cycle, and that cycle is called the rhodopsin cycle. Rhodopsin cycle, okay. So we will discuss the rhodopsin cycle after the break, and we will also discuss the how we are able to see the image, how the message is changed into the electric, light energy is changed into the electric energy potential, and how they go into the higher system, where there is processed and analyzed, okay, and then will be the recognition happens, okay. So we see after the break. So thank you with having me. Bye. Okay, let's come again after the break. Understand?